edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, the professor, Russ Stevens, he's not here this week, which means when the nicest way, we get to have fun.
Taking his talents to Southern California.
Yes, he is. And I am so jacked up and pumped, guys. You seriously, put your seatbelts on, right? I want you to get ready.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. No holds barred tonight, guys. We're not going to be soft anymore. Boston sports fans, we're not going to be soft. We start with the Patriots and one Gerard Mayo, who finally has taken us all out of our misery and has retired. Oh my! I am so disgusted and in pain that the Boston sports fans are saying things like one of the greatest Patriots of all time.
Well, that's
That's what they're saying. Is that a joke? Let's talk about Gerard Mayo. First of all, very nice guy.
One of the most respected Patriots by his players.
By his personality-wise. Great person, good guy.
Good player, Scott.
Yeah, wait. Let's start the good guy award first, okay?
Right.
A little button here. Good guy. Smiley face. Okay, he gets a lot of smiley faces. Very nice guy. And in the NFL, there aren't that many nice guys, right? So I'll give him that. He's a decent human being, and I respect him for that. And there you go. All the kudos to that. But as a player, average at best, has basically been hurt and done nothing production-wise for over 3 years.
Because he's been hurt.
Right. Well, look. That's the point of. You got to stay healthy.
I think Scotty's point is good. He was never a game changer.
No.
He was always the guy cleaning up the mess. He was never the one causing the mess.
Right. Do you agree?
Okay. I'll agree too. He was a good player. He was good. When he was healthy. He was the rookie of the year. Yeah. He has a great rookie year.
Right, but he only made one All-Pro. He was only All-Pro one time, okay? He only had 11 sacks in his whole career, 3 interceptions.
Is this about your thing with Hightower? Is that what this is about? It is, isn't it? You're going to compare them eventually.
Oh, new Saint Hightower. That's apples and oranges. Hightower is up there. Hightower is up there with the great, Steve Nelson and Hightower are the two best linebackers. And Teddy Bruschi, of course. But I always
Steve Nelson.
Well, Steve Nelson, right there.
That's because you got this helmet.
And that is right. That's true. I know, but Teddy Bruschi, I think, is the best linebacker. Do we call Teddy Bruschi a linebacker? I guess we got
Andre
it. Right?
Tippett's a Hall of Famer, isn't he?
All right, that's true. All right, you're right, Andre. Good one.
Nick Buoniconti.
Well, I was too young for Nick Buoniconti, but then he went to the Dolphins, and that's where he became.
But he was still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
and he was All-Pro here with the Patriots too.
Yep, but all right.
Okay.
Gerard Mayo or Vincent Brown?
Oh, I like Vincent Brown.
Yeah. Right? And
I forgot about Vincent Brown.
Yeah, but we don't know about the behind the scenes. Why did Belichick make him a captain every year, right from his rookie year?
Yeah,
after
I agree.
His second year, Belichick saw something in him that he doesn't see in other players. His second year on the team, he made him the captain.
Defensive captain, that's huge.
That's a great point. But obviously they loved him, okay, personality-wise.
He'll be the coach now. Now that we have a linebacker coach vacancy, why not Gerard go right in there? He's friendly with all the guys.
But why wasn't he cut at the very least?
Because I imagine there'd be a money difference. They'd still owe him the money. His contract was guaranteed. And if you cut him, he would still get paid.
He played some downs this year.
Yeah, but look, guy, I'm not. Of course, you can't criticize any Patriot because all the little Patriot fans come out. Patriots fans will criticize their own children, but God forbid you criticize Gerard Mayo, right? That's how this works in this town now.
Part of it is because Gerard Mayo never did anything wrong.
Yeah.
He just got hurt a lot.
For a guy from Tennessee, he was a good citizen.
But that's part of the body of work. You couldn't stay on the field, right? That's part of, that's what makes you a great player.
You might have some Peyton Manning stories from Tennessee, too.
Well, that's true, yeah.
I've got a great Peyton Manning question for you.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to go off topic, but in the Super Bowl, would the Denver Broncos have won the Super Bowl with Tim Tebow?
Wow.
Quite possibly. It would have been very similar.
Kubiak might have liked Tebow better, right?
Same type of a game. You don't have to do much.
Fitness system.
Well, I don't know if he could have made. Manning did make a few passes to Sanders that I don't think Tebow could have made.
Could they have won the game, though?
Yes. I think I'll have to say yes.
Would he have won the game with Jimmy G? Probably. Right? Think so?
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, right.
Name it.
Yeah, it goes on and on and on. But all right, so
Anyway,
congratulate
Phil Simms.
Right. Yeah, well, Phil Simms was a good quarterback.
Yeah. Hostetler the next year when Phil Simms was hurt was just as good.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's a terrible.
But Mayo.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations, Mayo, on a average career, and we wish you well. I know. I just had to get that. I'm just please these people with a revisionist history. All right. So we go to the Celtics, and it's trading deadline time. Can you feel that? Right.
Yeah.
I mean, have you got your gifts ready for
Does
everybody?
Danny Ainge make it fun now?
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
No fireworks. No fireworks. It's not happening.
So you think nothing's going to happen?
No.
Is nothing going to happen because teams aren't going to be willing to give up these guys, or we're not willing to give up our cherished New York
I think they're
Nets?
going to try, but I don't think anything's going to happen until the summer.
He'd give up that Brooklyn pick in a heartbeat for anyone good.
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. Because like we talked about...
You don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get.
Right, because there's an 85% chance that we won't be getting that number one pick. But he's sure not going to... So just stop with the Carmelo Anthony trade.
Oh, no, I don't want Cam.
First of all, do we really need him? You know, I mean, because don't we already have Hanley Ramirez in this town?
And they do have a nice chemistry going on now, so you don't want someone who's really going to upset that cart.
Exactly. And also, the last thing you need to do is give the Nets pick to the Knicks, and they get Ben Simmons, and you're going to stare at that for 10 years? Right. If he's going to give up that pick, he's giving it to a team that we never see. Out west, right? A Phoenix, a Sacramento, because that's the way Boston sports fans are. We will be haunted, right?
Yeah.
If we don't want to see this guy,
that comes into play for sure.
Yeah, if he plays in Phoenix, he doesn't exist to us. Yeah. So, all right. So, the names being bantied about is Cousins, Howard, Griffin. I'm going to add two names to it. James Harden.
No.
No.
And all these guys, they're going to ask too much, and Ainge isn't going to be willing to do it. He'll wait until draft night, and then he'll start his wheeling and dealing like he did to produce the big three.
But Pete, isn't Danny the kind of guy that he's going to make a deal to a guy that we not even talking about right now?
Exactly. He's always good for that.
Right.
Wait, who? What did he just say?
He was available, right?
He sees something that no one else seemed to see.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. Did any of us even know that Isaiah Thomas existed? Right, Jay Crowder. But the most important guy, Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
Who? What?
Yeah.
He was available?
Well, look at Stevens. They took a team like Butler,
right,
with no chance of recruiting anyone into the Final Four in just 3 years.
But
that's coaching, yeah.
But as brilliant a move as that was, if Brad Stevens had marketed himself to all of the NBA, you got to think a team like the Lakers would have given him a boatload more than the Celtics gave him, right? I mean,
Danny Ainge certainly gives him more value now.
Yeah, right. But I'm saying when he recruited,
but
Brad
I think
Stevens,
he was marketing himself more towards Indiana University, than to the pros. He hadn't even thought of the pros,
he was just as surprised as we were.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Thomas saved us from losing Brad Stevens. I think I think making that move was to a desperate, because he was mentioning Indiana University because that job looked like it was coming up.
A guy from Indiana, that's the plum job.
That's what he wants to do. So, all right, did you guys watch at all the three-point contest?
No,
not the
slam dunk.
No, slam dunk. I saw the
slam dunk was fun. Yeah. Three-point contest was even funner, if that's a word. But what was what was disgusting was, and to show you how the NBA, the players run the league, was that despicable, disgusting display of an all-star game. Did you watch all that?
All-star games I can't watch anymore.
But the Pro Bowl, the NBA All-Star,
the Pro Bowl is the worst of them all.
The NHL is getting crazy now too. It's just.
But the NBA All-Star game used to be a pretty competitive game.
They almost scored 400 points.
Yeah, it was a layup drill. It was a joke. And
there's no defense, you know.
Right, and there's no Adam Silver. Where is he? All of a sudden, we thought when he became commissioner that he dealt with Donald Sterling really. He handled that very well. And then he went away.
He's not called upon. When he's called upon, he will come out and put that team in Las Vegas.
Right. But we've got to get rid of All-Star. We got to get rid of the Pro Bowl, right?
Pro Bowl's useless.
Useless.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to play in the Pro Bowl.
And there's no skills competition.
Yeah, right.
In football, really.
So, and the NHL All-Star game. I mean, they've actually tried to do
That's a weekend. That's a whole weekend. People go and they go with their friends and they knock it out for a weekend,
But at least they tried. The NHL tries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They've tried each year to do something different. So I'll give them props.
The picking
see-
sides was terrible, though.
It's kind of fun. Yeah. It's kind of fun, though, to see their skills with a little more room, a little more time and space,
And then the only legitimate one is Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it means
because
something.
it's an individual sport, and so individuals fit in fine on any baseball team.
And it means something to win.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, they've
That makes a difference.
it's made a hell of a difference for the Boston Red Sox. We've had that. We've started
that
at home.
field advantage 3 times.
If anyone should like that format, it should be the Boston Red Sox. All right, let's go to the Boston Red Sox. Pitchers and catchers officially report tomorrow. So that means spring training has begun, and we can't really complain too much because the weather's actually been really good.
I hate Hanley Ramirez already.
Yeah, so I have to start. That's my early
says
thought.
we're too tough on him, though. We don't talk about Shaughnessy.
What's that? He does?
Yeah, he says we're too tough on him.
Yeah, don't get me started with that pathetic article by Shaughnessy. And then
I loved that article.
Oh, my God. He rips on Cam Newton, and then he tells us, be patient with Hanley Ramirez. All right, Dan, seriously? Not that anyone in Brookline ever gets a newspaper anyway, so it really doesn't matter. But if we did, we would hope you would not still be included in it. All right, but I'm going to make a prediction.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, this is crazy talk, and I have sources, and they come throughout Brookline, and we know Brookline's a very important town city.
Right.
Okay, I am predicting that John Henry will be selling the team within the next year. John Henry will sell the Boston.
No.
Fenway Sports Group
Crazy
will no
talk.
longer be
This
Fenway.
is really crazy talk.
I have sources. I have a couple of sources, okay? Seriously. John Henry has had enough, and John Henry may not be as strong financially as we might think. So John Henry will sell the team within the next year. And can you imagine the suitors for the Boston Red Sox?
Because he's a businessman?
Because he's a businessman, and because he may have, look, he's an older guy, and look.
So what's he gonna move to Liverpool?
I don't know. That's gonna be his problem. Really, I'm not gonna put a GPS on him.
In a year?
In the next year, that's when it'll start coming out. Who knows how the process?
Well,
John
wait a
Henry's
minute.
gonna sell.
He just became a resident of Massachusetts last year. I know he lived here for tax purposes. He had he'd always lived on the yacht. He finally settled down here, and now you say he's packing his bags and going?
I know the DMV is very, very traumatizing, and I know going there means some level of commitment. I know, but
owning the Red Sox is different from owning the Marlins.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a coveted spot.
Look, I'm just the messenger. That's all I am right now. That's all I'm telling
John
you.
Henry, that's prestigious. He walks into a socialite event in New York, LA. They say he's the owner of the Red Sox, and people take notice.
But Joe, you're right. That's a great point. But if he walks in the room, they'll still say that's the guy who used to own the Red Sox. Just as prestigious. There's not going to be any other one of the guys in the room who's just.
Now he owns the NASCAR team.
I don't know.
I'm not feeling that.
Well, he's going to sell it at some point.
Yeah, but
his wife's young. She can take it.
Look. I just.
Gene Yockey owned it for
some
years.
People that I trust gave me that information, and I'm just sharing it with my friends and the people. Except that's all. If anybody's watching, I know they are. So, all right,
not anymore. They're not.
Early thoughts, guys. I woke up in a cold sweat last night, and I realized our lineup sucks. I mean, it really sucks. If you look at it, and I guess we have a short memory. We forgot about last year, and we really sucked last year. And we're going to our lineup sucks this year. Let's go.
Well, the lineup was pretty good, all told.
At the end of the year.
No, for a couple of weeks, the outfielders
up the middle
will
carry us. The kids will carry us between the two catches, Bogarts, Betts, and hopefully Jackie Bradley Jr.
They're going to carry both those catchers.
Well, now you see.
I think
You
they
think
will.
so?
No, I think Vasquez
With
going down.
Hannigan too, 3 catches.
Yeah, but no, Vasquez goes down to Pawtucket. What has Vasquez ever done that we have cemented him as a starting catcher?
He's
First
got
of all,
a rocket ship for an arm.
right, but he can't. He hasn't shown that he could hit major league pitching yet.
No, he hasn't, but he hasn't had the chance to either.
Okay, all right. He's definitely a good defensive catcher. All right. So, but right now, to me, if we had a legitimate guy, he looks like he's a backup.
Well, no, he also has the reputation of being able to handle a pitching staff much better than Swihart was pretty much learning on the fly last year.
And has Swihart
didn't
earned
do
the
well.
right to be the starter?
No.
When
no.
Hannigan was out, remember, the pitching went right in the toilet.
Yeah, that position's
when Hannigan
wide
came
open.
back and they had a guy that knew how to handle the staff, things steadied themselves, and everyone had a good end of the year.
No, I think Swihart's your third baseman at some point. Seriously, because Pablo. All right, so let's quickly go through the lineup. Catcher, okay, it's all right. They'll handle it the position fairly. You know, it'll be an average position, but
Someone's going to be there.
Someone's going to be there. It's not going to bother us too much. First baseman, we currently do not have a first baseman. If anyone's buying that whole Hanley Ramirez at first base, I'd like to sell you some other stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a joke.
Travis Shaw.
The guy showed up for spring training without a first baseman's mitt. That's how committed he is to first base.
Right. He couldn't go to Dick's Sporting Good and drop $150.
Like he has to do that.
Yeah.
All he had to do is call his agent. His agent, every company that makes gloves,
even
have been
show up
trying
yet,
to give
has
him one.
Yeah, they probably did send him stuff, and he just hasn't got it to the mail yet. You know what I mean? Seriously. All right, so Hanley's a joke. He's not a first baseman. Right. Great point. I think Travis Shaw ends up being your first baseman, which I actually have no problem with.
He thinks he's going to be the first baseman.
Yeah, but I think
And good for him to have that attitude.
I'd like to see Travis Shaw there. If you said he was the first baseman right now, I'd be less worried about that position.
Somebody told me something interesting about Hanley. When he was a shortstop, he was a pretty good shortstop.
Right.
He was focused all the time. The ball was, he had to pay attention all the time. They moved him to the outfield, and all of a sudden, he just doesn't have that same focus, you know.
Right.
So at first base, you better be focused.
Yeah,
You're
right.
You're on every play.
Left-handed hitter will take your head off.
But people are missing one point. He's washed up. He can't play anymore. We saw that at the second half of the season. His numbers were ridiculous. I mean, he batted under 200. I think he might have had one home run.
He went home.
Yeah, right. And then he quit on the team. He literally quit on the team.
They invented injuries for him and Sandoval and sent them home.
Yeah, right.
Stay away from here.
Yeah.
We're a better team
That's why I
without you
thought
here.
they'd be gone, after that.
I'm shocked. Again,
They can't find anyone to take him off their hands.
Well,
no one wants
That's
him.
simple. It's that simple, yeah.
I'm continuing to make my prediction that Hanley Ramirez will never play another game again for the Boston Red Sox. Oh, there, lights are back on. It's like the Garden. Really? See? Look at the Garden.
That's from the prediction you made.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I've rocked Brooklyn.
The powers that be are disagreeing with you.
It is a circus. No, so, I mean, he's never going to play again with the Red Sox. Ultimately, what they're going to do, if they can't get rid of him in late March, you're just going to cut him.
Okay, second base.
Second base, Pedroia. Look, again.
You love him.
Look. Oh, yeah. No, I loved Pedroia. Great player. Last 2 seasons, similar to Gerard Mayo. He's been absolutely useless, injury prone.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get from Pedroia, but I'm sure telling you, you're not getting 162 games.
You're not getting 120
Who's going to play the other games? Brock?
Well, Brock Holt and stuff.
Who you don't like either.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say I didn't like him. And again, if Brock Holt is our representative again this year at the All-Star game, we've had a bad season.
I was happy for him.
I know. He's like, Hollywood Pete's such
He's a good story.
No, it's a great story.
I know, but if we had 4 other guys
It's not that I'm
who would
being
participate.
soft, it's just that I'm overwhelmed with your negativity tonight on every player that we mentioned. Poor Gerard Mayo. I mean,
because I don't like us soft. It's not fun being a Boston sports fan when we're so soft, right? We need an edge to us. Everything is just, everyone's okay, and
everything's hunky dory.
Yeah, and it's all right to get into
so
third
now that
place.
we got that edge and we're being negative, let's move to shortstop.
No! That's where we're all set for the next 20 years. My man Alexander, he's just fine, right? We know. And I was thinking.
And the show just comes up.
He needs to bat third in this lineup, right? He's our third. Yeah, he's great.
We batting Mookie lead off now?
Yeah, lead off, and Pedroia, for this 18 games that he plays, he'll be second, right? But, all right, and so third base, just the abyss, right? The fat abyss, the box. And they said that they asked him, Farrell, if Pablo lost weight, and he said around 20 pounds. Around 20 pounds.
Around 20 ounces.
Is 2 around 20? Yeah. And first of all, even if he lost 20 pounds, that guy is such a fat tub of goo. That would absolutely make no difference.
He was more like 80 pounds overweight last year.
Oh, easy.
No, you think?
Oh. Have you ever watched The Biggest Loser?
Yes.
And when, they show these guys and then they take their women too, where they obviously the women don't take their shirts off completely. And then you see them once and you realize how freaking fat they really are.
I would say he was close to 80 pounds overweight.
That's
not from his Giants. He was, say, 30, 40 pounds overweight with the Giants.
But he was good.
Yeah. And now with the Red Sox, he was ballooned.
But it wasn't that good, Pete. He was just good in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, that's when it counts.
Right, but we're not getting to the playoffs. Yeah. Did you watch last year? All right, but we have no faith in him. Do you have any faith in him?
Well,
no, I'm willing to give him one more shot.
What's that?
We have faith in everything in the spring.
Yeah. We have no choice.
We're Red Sox fans.
No, that's what I'm saying.
We have no choice. We got to play him at third base. So give him one more chance. And then I'll relegate him to the Ramirez pile. And
then it's going to get really ugly, right? I mean, this is going to get ugly for him early. If Pablo, because Haley's not on the team, so I don't even worry about it.
We're going to find Ben Cherington somewhere and Taron feather him.
Yeah, I know.
Who would go in for him? Travis Shaw or?
I don't even know. I guess Holt would be.
Yes.
Holt would play like 3 positions at some point.
And Holt is so tiny. He looks out of place at the corner infield.
Oh, especially when he plays first base.
Oh, I know. The first base coach towers over him.
Yeah, that's. I'm thinking this is our Boston Red Sox. The Boston Red Sox, and they have Brock Holt at first base. All right, so we go.
We're happy with the outfield.
No, all right.
No, he's never happy.
No, I'm not happy at all with the outfield. Okay, Ruben Castillo.
I just thought I'd ask.
Are you happy with Castillo? First of all, what is he showing us?
I'm going to give him another chance, too.
You are?
Yes.
But are you giving him another chance?
Yeah, I think you have to give him another chance.
Okay,
sure.
All right, but he's injury prone, to say the least.
Yep.
Yes.
He has to be...
Which is unforgivable tonight.
Yes, it is. Yeah, you're right. We're not giving you any slack tonight, Ruben. I don't care where you're from. I don't care how you got here. But 72 million reasons you need to be playing, right? Because if he's not perfect and everything doesn't fit right, he's not out there. Okay, so we got problems in left field. I understand Chris Young, they signed him.
Gotta like it, though.
Yeah, no, right.
A little bit of insurance.
Yeah,
Sure.
but if this is a World Series team, we're already putting our fourth outfielder as a starter.
Good point.
Okay, all right.
Good point. Touche.
Then there's one, Jackie Bradley, and I think we can all admit that we all love Jackie Bradley, right? We all want to see Jackie Bradley succeed.
Yeah, but he gets just as much of a chance as Rusney because, I mean, what did he do, really?
Oh, no.
He's only had a month or two of actually hitting.
No, I like Jackie Bradley. All I'm saying is he's not a sure thing.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a guy
he's
that...
got a second pass.
Right. The only thing about Jackie Bradley is, when we talk about Christian Vasquez, is that defensively, we know that's not going to go on a slump.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so at the very least, he'll be a guy that's running down balls, saving runs.
Oh, he's a joy to watch out there.
Yeah, but today's baseball team, you have to be able to hit, too. It's not like Mark Bland. You can't have defensive guys in there just for defense. They have to hit some.
Yeah, right. And he doesn't...
Paul Blair could hit 235.
So you're putting Mookie in right.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, how could you not put Bradley, who may be one of the top 10 defensive center fielders of all time, right?
Well, I don't know. I think he's got a stronger arm than Mookie.
Oh, Bradley's he's off the charts.
Bradley's got an off the charts arm too.
Bradley's the best center fielder I've seen.
Bradley could throw it into center field bleachers from home plate, just standing there.
Don't you think Bradley's the best? Is he the best center fielder you've seen?
I've ever seen in my lifetime.
For the Red Sox.
Yeah, Paul Blair was a bit better.
Right. But yeah, absolutely. Rusney, not Ruben Castillo.
Ruben Sierra?
Little Max.
No, Rusney Sierra.
Rusney. Oh, yeah, Rusney. Yeah, well,
He's a little rusty.
Yeah,
on the
well, he may end up back in Cuba by June, and I won't need to know his first name anymore.
What's Moncada's first name?
Jan?
Johan.
Johan. Johan? Okay, Johan.
Max?
Look, I don't even say Makata right. So what do you guys even... Look, you have a Methuen accent. That's how it works, okay? All right, I want to know how the young pitchers fit. Yo on. Okay, that was the lovely Adrian. Yo on.
Yeah.
But we won't really need to worry about that for another couple years, right?
She said, "Go on."
Oh, so where does it fit? Where does the pitchers fit? The young pitchers. We got Owens.
Those guys were fun.
Yeah, Johnson, and we've got the Stephen Wright, who is out of options. Sports fans, so we don't keep.
He'll be the long reliever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
he's got to
go. Yeah.
He'll be the Tim Wakefield of.
What about Clay Buckhouse with the extra 10 pounds?
So
For
Pablo gave
durability.
him. Yeah. Right. So.
But did you see today's paper? How he met his wife?
Well,
Donald Trump introduced them.
Yeah, isn't she a Playboy bunny or something? I think she is.
Well, because didn't he do the Miss Universe or something?
Oh yeah, he did.
He did?
For years, for a couple of years, he did it.
Is that? I don't. Seriously, is he the ugliest man in baseball? He's got to be one of the ugliest.
But his nickname is Clayboy.
You're just going off on everyone.
But he's an ugly man.
Well, yeah.
He's ruggedly handsome.
Oh, that's what you think. Joe thinks that? No,
ruggedly handsome.
No. So, all right. So, Wright stays, and I would like to see Clay, one of our good friends, Clay, or Kelly, one of those guys, get pedaled off so we can put Wright as a fifth starter, because I like having knuckleballers there.
I don't trust him at all.
Parcello's still the big question mark, you know.
Yeah, but he's in there because he has 88 million reasons where he's staying.
Yeah.
But I don't mind Porcello as a third, fourth starter. Do you?
Yeah.
I really liked him when they signed him. I just don't know how he went south like that.
Yeah, to me he's a solid. Yeah, I liked him too.
So is Kelly going to be in the regular rotation, do you think, or is he going to the bullpen?
Great question.
It's great spring training. We're going to find out.
Yeah.
I think he's your middle reliever guy. I think he fits better. I don't like to bring
He's a potential closer with his stuff, though.
Yeah, but I'd rather have Kelly coming in with a man on first and second in the sixth inning and have a better
the Daniel Biden role.
Right. Then here comes Stephen Wright, and we know that, 3 balls are going to the backstop. Right. See, that's why I don't think he fits that well as a middle reliever. I think Wright's got to be in.
Oh no, I mean Wright would be the long reliever when a starter fails in the second or third inning. Wright's the guy you go to.
Right. No.
Try to hold the game together.
Get the innings, yeah.
I don't know. I think we saw Wakefield, and we're in Boston. We had a rare 10 years of a guy on knuckleball, so we know how it works. We know it does screw up the players on the other team.
Very streaky too, though.
And absolutely, they are very streaky, and they can give up a number of runs very quickly, but. I like him. I'd like
you
to
like
see,
somebody, and
I
that's
do.
a good thing.
Yeah, I like Stephen Wright. Yeah, there you go. No, but
30 minutes, you like Stephen Wright.
We had to go to 50 men on the roster before we found somebody liked.
You got to get fired up here. Come on, it's getting too boring in this town. And from now, every week now, I want to be like Peter Townsend from The Who. Someday I'm just trashing the set. That's what's going to happen. So you stay tuned. All right, so that's our show for you tonight. I want to thank, as usual, the boys. I want to thank everyone behind the scenes. And we had a big crew tonight, as you can hear. Adrian, Todd, Max, and Lucas. Please check out us on our website at thegrandstanders.com. Tune in again next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of The Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus. Well, good show.
That was really.
That was loose.
Loose as a goose.
The Clay Buckles thing was.
Where was Russ? We need to get the teacher back in here because this classroom is running amok.
Because if we had done that, and Russ, he would have just.
He would have been purple.
No, that's what he does. Have you seen? I watch these shows, and then I'll watch Russ, and he'll just be like this.